Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Castello Show. It is match week 12. I apologize.
It's right there.
Yeah, I know. Well, we missed last week.
Have that open.
We are sorry we missed last week. We had some technical difficulties. We tried to edit around it. But then there was the Kentucky Derby. We had a party, lots of things. But we're back. That's the thing. We always come back.
Do you know who won the Kentucky Derby?
I don't even remember. Was it Sovereignty? That was one of the
I think
horses.
that's right, actually.
I believe that's
I'm not
right.
100% positive. We had a great Derby party.
Here's the thing.
Super good time.
About a good Derby party is the Derby is inconsequential to the party.
Yeah.
No one cares. No one knows the horses.
Unless you win the pot.
What happened to fun racehorse names?
I think they ran out because two horses can have the same name.
That's interesting. I never thought about that. They're all
they have to register
now.
them.
They're like, Sovereignty. Well, let's just get up some of the dumbass horse names from the Kentucky Derby. I probably should have had this pulled up already.
I would say so.
We didn't know we were going to do this bit, so.
I wouldn't call it a bit. It's a conversation.
Sure. Let's see. Sovereignty did win.
Nice.
You got that right.
By the way, not running in the Preakness.
Why?
Because I'm probably too quick, and they don't think I'm assuming it's a he.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think if it was a female, they would have made more. There are female Derby winners, but much more males.
Right.
But
Sandman was one of the horses.
It's very difficult to turn around in 2 weeks and then turn around in 3 weeks again. And the Belmont, I guess if they figure on 5 weeks rest, can win the Belmont, which is more prestigious. I don't know what happened to the Preakness. It really is the dud of the three.
Yeah, no one really seems to care. Well, enough for anything.
And it has the smallest fields because so many horses, when they don't win the Derby, then they don't run the Preakness. But the winner usually does because they're going for the Triple Crown. This is it. You're a 3-year-old once. This is your only opportunity.
Well, and I got to be honest with you, and I know people who are in horse racing would feel differently. But I don't care about your horse unless it wins all three. If you only win the Kentucky Derby, to me, you're a horse. I don't know anything. I will forget. I don't even remember who won. I've watched every Derby since I was pretty young. I don't remember a single winning horse.
If I said names, you'd probably remember some.
I don't think I would.
Really?
I don't care. But I care if they win the Triple Crown. Then I will care.
So do you know who won the last Triple Crown?
I was like Arabian something, whatever.
Yeah, there was actually 2 in the last few years. There's none for 30 years.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it was more than 30 years because I think it was 72, 73, and 78, or 73, 74, and 78.
American Pharaoh. That's where I got Arabian from.
There you go.
Justify. I do remember Justify.
Yeah.
The only 2 living.
Yeah, well, because before that it was the 70s. You had Secretariat,
right?
Seattle Slew, and it was a single word.
Horse.
No, I think it began with an A.
Has anyone ever named
Affirmed.
a horse? Oh, I know Affirmed.
Little kids name their horse.
Well,
not
yeah,
a racehorse. I don't think.
I
wonder
would do
if that
that.
would be allowed.
Why not? If it's never been used, I should be allowed to do it.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know if it has.
I would do it. That might have been one of the first ones that got checked off, too, honestly. That could have been...
No, the people who let their grandkid name the horse.
Right. Well, I'm sure there was that would be Horsey.
Maybe. I guess it depends on how young the grandkid is.
Fair enough. Anyway, guys, last week's games. To be honest with you, we don't have a ton...
Hold on, news.
Oh, news.
Did you read my news?
I did not.
Philadelphia Union signed Ben Bender.
Hey, go on, Ben. Good for him.
And I got to tell you, I think he's with a better team that...
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's a good room for him to be around with Quinn and Cavan. And
I wonder if he and Sullivan would link up and all of a sudden become this
maybe.
young, supercharged midfield.
I also think it's just good to be around. I mean, Cavan already signed that deal it's like Man City, but he's playing the remainder of his Philly contract or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, it's some kind of...
he's really young.
Right, so they're letting him finish in the MLS and get older, and then he'll go to Man City. But playing around someone of that caliber is just always good for you. And Charlotte, I mean, they just don't have anyone of that caliber that is going to Man City soon,
No.
And I think that's a good
organization.
Yeah, I do think not really this season, but in general, they tend to get the best players and young players. I mean, they have really done something with the Sullivans.
They had Jim Curtin for a long time, and he was a great coach.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the audio peaks, and if you look when I speak right now, and now look at the screen when you speak, go ahead and talk.
I'm talking.
Oh, it's lower.
Well, I fixed it.
Oh, okay.
I adjusted the gain because it was way high. Like a couple minutes ago.
Okay.
Like that. Yeah, no, we're a little more even. Now our laughs are really the only spikes.
Well, yeah, my laugh spikes. I'm quite aware of that.
No.
My laugh is an audio engineer's worst nightmare.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, was that all the news?
Yes, that's all the news.
All right.
I saw that, and that was a peak. I saw that, and I was like, oh, I bet Brian doesn't know this, and I didn't even want to tell you before we were.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but we're happy for Ben.
Yeah,
good things. City of brotherly love, all that. Honestly, Philadelphia is a shithole. I'm sorry.
How did it get that ridiculous nickname?
I don't know.
No one ever thinks of it that way.
No,
like seriously, if you're talking about sports teams and places you should not go to away games, right?
Yeah.
Like don't be a Giants fan or a Cowboys fan and go to an Eagles away game, or Redskins fan, I guess, anyone in the NFC East, and go to an away Philly, an Eagles game.
Yeah, no, it's the worst.
Don't be the Rangers and go to a Flyers game in Philly. But how many cities do you say that about?
Yeah, no, it's not a lot.
No, it's not brotherly love at all.
No, well, and honestly, even let's go through history. Ben Franklin, I would say a Philadelphia staple, kind of a dick. So, I mean, not a...
well known for that. And a womanizer.
Yeah.
Yeah, how can someone so ugly be a womanizer?
Because he has so much money.
Money and power.
And he invented electricity.
Money and power.
He didn't invent electricity.
Disgusting.
That was a joke for the people at home. He did not invent...
For you science aficionados.
Electricity did exist. Anyway. Last week's games, to be honest, we don't have a ton to talk about on this, but we're
because of the Derby party, I really didn't watch much last week. And even trying to watch the highlights and the wrap up, I kept getting interrupted. So
yeah, Atlanta Nashville. I did watch this game. Honestly, 1-1 draw at home against Nashville. You don't love, but to me, this is an Atlanta win. They played hard for 90 minutes.
I don't like either of these teams.
I don't like either of these teams.
I feel like I heard that Atlanta, it was like the first or second half was good, but the other one wasn't.
So Lovitz had the goal off a corner kick. Almiron's goal looked awesome. And honestly, the Lovitz goal, it was bad marking, but it's a set piece. I mean, they gave up 0 run of play goals. To me, this was not some shambles game for Atlanta. And it's the only game I watched live, the whole thing.
Right.
New England, Toronto, 2-0 New England. I mean, I always love when Toronto gets swept, especially at home. That's always nice.
Yeah, and so many people had Toronto defensive players, Sean Johnson in goal, fantasy-wise.
Yeah.
We had New England defenders.
Yep.
Yep.
And Carlos Heel, by the way, 12 points. He looked
And by the way,
awesome.
this did hit the under 2.5, by the way.
It did hit the under 2.5. Well, you didn't see that at home because the episode didn't go out.
That's right, we didn't.
That was one of the bets that we recommended. It was the first under we've ever recommended on the show.
Oh, and
it was a good episode you missed last week.
It didn't air, and you're welcome for that pick.
Yeah.
We actually felt really good about it.
The good news is neither of us bet it either.
It's so funny, though, because as I look at these games, I forget, because we did the show.
Right. Yeah,
so I forget that literally no one saw it because of the technical issues. So I don't even think about that. I remember what we said and all of that. So if you didn't remind me, I would have never remembered that it didn't air and no one heard that pick. So
did get a goal out of Leo Campana. Love that for him. I think we're going to see more good things from him.
Yeah, New England, I keep saying New England's better than everyone thinks. I think they have 4 wins in a row or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, no, they're starting to look really good.
Yeah. So
next up on the list, Columbus 4-2 over Charlotte.
So when I saw Byrne and Doumbia were out, and it was Ream on the one wing on the one wing,
Mm-hmm.
and who's that young dude?
Marshall Ruddy?
No.
No, he was a sub. I apologize.
Yeah.
Scardina.
Yes, Gardina, who people have good things to say about, but
Too young.
yeah, come on. And against Columbus, I was like, oh my God, bet Columbus so hard.
Yeah.
And I knew they were going to score 1,000,000 goals, and they did.
They did. We saw goals from let me get back up there.
Everyone.
Dylan Chambost, Diego Rossi, AZ had a goal, and then
Russell Rowe. I mean, it's the 4 you would expect.
Yeah.
4 goals from 4 different guys.
Gazak did not play.
No, that was brutal because when the lineups came out, he was in the lineup, and
Right.
then he got hurt, and we weren't watching anything, so we had no idea he didn't play. So he was on the field for me.
Right. Did get goals out of Zaha and Liel Abada. I'm not gonna lie to you, Abada is starting to become a real fantasy threat when they have good matchups. He's just so inconsistent to me that I don't.
He doesn't play all the time either. They rotate the top 2 layers.
When you need someone and you don't have a lot of money, though, Abada kind of
He could be a decent.
He's becoming someone I would turn to as a bench pick if they have a good matchup. He's one of those guys that you play maybe every 4 weeks, but
Well, and they're in Nashville with no Zimmerman this week.
yeah. Well, and hey, Nashville with
But
no
he's gonna
Zimmerman,
be hit or miss. He
Nashville
doesn't
with
have
no
bonus
Zimmerman
points.
has turned out to be not as bad as we expected.
They beat Atlanta and Chicago.
That's true.
Remember the whole thing? Was that last week or was that the week before when I talked about Cincinnati?
Mm-hmm.
And all of their wins are by 1 goal. Last 5 wins by 1 goal, and it's against 5 of the bottom teams in the league.
Yeah.
They're all in the bottom, third of the league.
Right.
And they're winning by 1 goal. And everyone's like, well, not everyone. But one of the theories, one of the, what's the word I'm really looking for? Not theory, one of the.
Hypotheses.
Ooh, look at you. Something one might subscribe to.
Schools of thought.
Yes. Is that, well, if you win every game by 1, it shows you know how to win games.
Right.
Right? Even when you're not at your best, you're still finding ways to win. That's a great team. But when it's against some of the worst teams in the league, I think it tells a different story.
Yeah.
And then it did, and they lost this week.
Yep. No, and you got to run up the score when you can. We'll get into that game. Before we hit that, I did want to bring up the DC game just because we saw Benteke, 72 minutes played, got a pretty good run out there, had a goal.
Yeah, he's still listed as questionable, but he's back.
Yeah. Kijima with the other goal, and then the Rapids who scored. It was Yapi and Navarro with the assist. Mihailovic quiet.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
Colorado was quiet. They even with the goal, I never felt like. I mean, just watching the replay, I didn't know the score of that game, and watching the replay, I was like,
it was
it's a
not
DC win.
what I expected, though. I mean, DC is not the best defense in the league.
Certainly not. Well, and honestly, I do think Colorado on the road is struggling a little. We're not seeing the Colorado of old. Well, and honestly, there is a part of me that feels that there never was that Colorado. With Colorado, we were like, they're going to be good. They're young, they're hungry.
Cole Bassett's hurt right now, and that's a big
true.
loss.
That matters. Even though Cole Bassett's not a big fantasy guy, he's an engine.
Which is funny because he was last year.
Yeah. But this year,
he's still a good player.
He keeps a game
He's
moving.
probably a better player this year than last year. Mm-hmm. You just don't see it in the stat line.
Yeah. No, I would agree.
But when he's out, you see it in everybody else's stat lines.
Right. Miami, 4-1 over the Red Bulls. I mean, you have more on this than I did.
Yeah,
so
because it was one of the early things in the wrap-up that I actually got to see.
Gotcha.
But big win. They had 3 straight losses, 3 straight MLS regular season losses. They also lost the 2 CCC games.
Yeah.
So they have 5 straight losses, actually.
Yes.
That is...
Yeah, it's not Miami.
No, that is...
Honestly...
And most of the games, Messi and Suarez and all of them played.
Yes. Now, Miami, as a team, and I feel this about teams, I feel this about individuals, whatever. When you have superstars and they start losing, they can spiral. It can get really bad really fast. It did. They got knocked out of the CCC.
Oh, and Messi was like bitching and complaining at the end of that game, and left the field. Like,
this is kind of a comeback, but it's also against the Red Bulls.
Against the Red Bull, who I have no faith in them at all.
No.
Like, I will not ever put Forsberg in my lineup again.
No, they're not
the
Red Bulls.
He is
from
the
last
worst.
Season.
I actually considered Red Bull defenders this week.
I did not.
If they did not play at the same time as Cincinnati and NYC, I would probably have Valencia in my lineup on the defensive end. But offensively, Choupo-Moting maybe. But Forsberg, done. Lewis Morgan, he's been hurt so long, I don't even know if he's still alive.
Yeah, who knows? I bet he's in Scotland right now, literally.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
wearing a kilt. Suarez on the score sheet, Messi on the score sheet. So it was kind of the Miami of old. And hey, playing the Red Bull, that's a get right game. You know?
No, well, and we'll see what happens next week for Miami. I think they might be digging themselves out of the rut. They don't have to worry about CCC anymore. Everybody gets a little more rest.
Here's the thing,
you
though.
Can focus.
As bad as they've been, they're only 3 points out of first, and they have a game in hand.
Right.
So they're still basically tied for first, and after this awful run of games.
No, I mean, it was a good time to run off 3 league losses, honestly, because no one else really looked that good either.
Cincinnati's been terrible.
Charlotte's been losing.
Yep.
All their competition has also hit
Columbus
a bad run.
has been... They've had ties when they should have had wins.
Right. So with everyone dropping points, Miami's still safe. They got to win now. So, I mean, they could start cooking again.
Red Bull, by the way, they're now behind New England.
Really?
And New England has a game in hand.
Good for New England.
Yeah, they're not even in the top 9, the playoff. That's how bad the Red Bull are. And I think it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
Unless they get... And maybe Morgan coming back, whenever that is. I don't even know what his injury is. Well, and that would do something.
We all remember when Morgan came, and it was night and day the last time he joined the team.
Yeah, he was awesome.
So I mean, he's a huge part of what makes that Red Bull offense work. Philly, Montreal, 2-1 Philly. I don't really care about this game. Vrioni with the goal for Montreal only played 57 minutes. Why won't they let him...
He's been hurt.
Well, he's fucking back, is he not?
Well, yes, but a lot of guys, they want to ease back and not re-injure him, and he's not match fit.
I guess, man. I don't know. I mean, he's coming in and scoring goals, and then you take him off, and they look dead out there. I don't feel like they have an alternative. Owusu's just not the guy. I mean...
Yeah, but, I mean...
And by the way, have Owusu come in for Vrioni and, I don't know, play a 4-5-1. I mean...
Put them both in.
Well, Owusu...
For a team that can't score.
Owusu played 90.
2 guys up top. Oh, so they probably did play up top together.
Yeah, let's see. Ibrahim subbed in for 2 minutes. Do they have another attacker on here? I didn't even see another one. Anyway.
Ibrahim used to be good. I don't know. I mean, when you have shit around you...
Yeah, no, it's hard.
It is hard.
Goals from Indiana Vasilev and Mikel Yuri.
Hoorah!
Lukic with the assist. Jean-Jacques with the assist. I mean, Philly looked good.
Yeah, remember at the beginning of the season, Ura was like gonna get cut practically because he couldn't do anything.
Yeah, no, he was.
And
gone.
Baribo was like the golden boot, and now Baribo might as well be Lewis Morgan.
Yeah, no, they really have switched places. If you look at Baribo, 14 passes, 0 key passes.
That's such a dumb stat, by the way.
Key passes?
Yeah, it used to be an actual...
Defined
tangible
stat.
Yeah, defined. That's better. It's not really tangible. Yeah. Now it's whatever this statistical company feels like it should be. Like it's totally...
Yeah. No, I mean the new stat company sucks. We've gotten into that before.
Yeah, and the game, the fantasy game has gotten worse because of it.
I agree.
Substantially.
I do think once whatever this contract is runs out, they'll go with whoever the new highest bidder is or the lowest bidder.
Right. They don't really give a shit. They just want more money. They don't care about the quality of the product.
Yeah, but I imagine there are stat companies looking at this and like just rubbing their hands together because they know they can do a better job. So I'm not worried long term, but it is annoying right now. Minnesota 3-0 over Austin.
Austin sucks.
Austin is really terrible.
Like every MLS team in the state of Texas sucks.
No, they're really bad.
FC Dallas, Houston, Austin. They're all How does Texas have 3 teams in the MLS?
Because it's so big, I think.
Yes. They also play through the summer.
Right.
And I don't think any of them are indoor stadiums. No, none of them are indoor stadiums. They're all outdoor. They play June, July, August.
Yeah. Well, I mean, California's got, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, but all of California isn't hot.
Well, they're all Southern California, too. I mean, it's San Diego and 2 LA
San
teams.
Jose.
Oh,
They're
San
way
Jose is
north.
California, so that's
they're
4.
way north.
Anyway.
Yeah, but San Diego is not Texas. San Diego, yes, is Southern California, but it's 70 and sunny all year round.
Yeah.
It's like the most beautiful weather in the world.
That's true. As far as the Minnesota game went, honestly, it was 3-0. Not a great game for the
Names?
Longuane had 8 points because of the clean sheet, but nothing attacking. Goals came from Markinich,
A defender.
Pereira, a midfielder. I didn't even see the third goal because
Could be
the
an own
stat
goal.
company sucks. Oh, you know what? It could be an own
it could
goal.
also be someone who's not in the game.
It is an own goal, and it was Ilie Sanchez with the own goal. Wow, you
Wow.
hate to see that. He's the only player on Austin I like is Ilie Sanchez.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to come in and whip this team into shape.
They actually, at the beginning of the season, they were better than they are now.
Yeah, no, I think they're starting to lose confidence.
Hey, and look who's still, you wouldn't even know he played, Robin Ludd.
Yeah,
What the hell happened to him?
Honestly, Ludd, I think he's on the steady decline.
Is he old?
Ludd? Let's see.
I can't even tell you if I think he looks old. He looks like a monster.
He is 32 years old.
Yeah, so that's old.
From Finland, Helsinki.
I knew that. I didn't know Helsinki. I just knew Finland.
Yeah.
But I probably would have guessed that.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't even think of another. What's another city in Finland?
no, it's the only one I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's 32. I mean, that's not young in soccer, certainly.
No, not at all.
Going through Orlando, Chicago 0-0. I mean, it was just
Orlando.
fucking boring.
Do you know who Orlando is this year?
Hmm.
They're Charlotte last year. They don't score, but they hold the other teams to no goals too.
Yeah.
They get 1 million draws, and they're so happy about it.
Yeah, well, and by the way, after they started as this like really high-powered shootout offense, and it was like we'll outscore you. This is the beginning of the season. Orlando was winning games 4-3.
And now you want to know what? It's almost like they went, "Hey, we got to stop giving up so many goals," and then they just reversed to we're never going to give up goals by everyone defending, and guess what? Now we can't score. Yeah, they're horrible to watch.
Yeah, no, it was boring, and honestly, I expected more out of Chicago after getting
their asses whooped.
Yeah.
Against Nashville.
I mean, you lose 7-2,
and you get shut out.
This is a game
at
they
home.
really could have come back to.
You come home after an ass whooping. I mean, that's a coach firing game.
Yeah, 7-2.
7 goals. 7 goals. That's when coaches get fired. And now you come home from that, and you don't score a damn goal. That's disgusting.
Yeah. And against Orlando, not some team that is impossible to score on.
They have like 4 or 5 clean sheets in a row now.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, actually.
But
they're still awful to watch. And hey, every game that Berhalter looks stupid and doesn't win, that's a good game for me.
Right. San Diego beating the fuck
Speaking
out
of
Dallas.
ass whoopings.
5-0.
Dude, Dallas, I would even say it's not Musa because they didn't do well with him. They had like one good game with him.
Mm-hmm.
But they are, I mean, how disappointing is
Acosta.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, he really is not fitting into this Dallas team. And I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's what's around him. I mean, he was at Cincy, and Cincy was a really good lineup with, I mean, certainly more talent than Dallas. It's hard to pinpoint why.
With good tactics and a good coach.
Right.
And I don't even know who the coach of Dallas is. I'm not saying he's not a good coach. He could be amazing.
The fact that I don't know him at all makes me think he's probably not. And
when
also
things aren't working,
lines.
you have to do something different, though. And it's not like you don't have talent.
No.
You have some of the most talented players in the league.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, Acosta is a player you build a team around in this league. And I would argue a similar thing of Musa, who I know isn't around right now, but
Right,
still.
I think he's missed 2 or 3 now in a row.
Chucky with 2 goals and an assist. Dreyer, he's back. 2 assists and a goal. Then we had
Play Dallas. He'll help you get back. Another get right game
for sure. Christopher McVeigh, DeSantos, Bombino. I mean, pick your defender and goalkeeper. They all did well. I don't know. San Diego, I think, kind of needed a win. They've been a little since the Charlotte loss.
No, they've been bad.
The wheels kind of came off for him. I think this was big.
And they're a pretty likable team, too.
Yeah, no, I like them. And I like Chucky, even though every white announcer calls him Chucky, which makes me so angry.
And that might be how you pronounce it, because literally everyone calls him that.
Hey, man.
So I'm guessing it is.
As long as you play in San Diego, it's Chucky. I mean, literally, the whole stadium should have the little dolls with the knives. I don't know why they're not doing that.
That would be cool, actually.
Vancouver 2-1 over Salt Lake. To be honest, I kind of was thinking Vancouver clean sheet this game, and that's what scared me away from Diego Luna. But Diego Luna does it again. That is, I mean, even though they lost, he scored a goal on what I believe to be the best defense in the MLS.
Was that a PK?
Right now. You know, I don't know.
I think it was in like the 92nd minute or something like that.
I know it was late. Regardless, I mean,
but Vitae keeps playing well.
Yeah, 6 points with no goals or assists. You gotta love that.
Yeah. Blackman. I saw Blackman's goal actually. That was a rocket. He did not look like a defender. Did you see that goal?
I did. No, Tristan Blackman might be the best defender in the MLS right now. I don't really know. I mean, just who I would put against him at the moment. Even though he's not always my favorite fantasy player, I think Wagner sometimes has a higher upside than Blackman.
Oh God, yeah.
But I mean, Tristan Blackman. Let's just get the profile.
I actually play Ahmed, and everybody loves Blackman, but I play Ahmed because he's up top.
Yeah, I mean, let's see, 2 goals, and I mean, all of the Montreal players all have this, but 1, 2, 3.
Well, they don't all, because he always starts and plays the whole game.
Right, that's true.
And there are guys that rotate. So
5 clean sheets for Blackman. He's only missed 1 match against the Fire. That was it.
And that could have been because of rotation, because CCC.
Right. That's really all I got on that game. Moving on.
Are we moving on to Houston and LAFC?
We are.
Another terrible Texas team.
Yes.
Remember when McGlynn was lighting up the world like he was the guy?
Yeah, well,
and he hasn't done anything in like 5 weeks. Here's the thing. He hasn't done anything in 5 weeks, and the team is dying with him.
Yeah. No, and I think it really shows how much McGlynn was the centerpiece here. And honestly, when you go through the team, other than Amina Bassi, there's no one I love on their... I mean, it kind of makes sense to me. You lose... oh my God, who is the Mexican guy? Herrera? Is that right?
I don't know. We need to look this up.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
Big ears. Anyway, Belonga with an assist and a lot of bonus points. 10 points total for him with no goal. Always love that. Other goal was Nathan Ordaz. Nathan Ordaz had 1 goal. The other goal...
Was it Artur that's gone?
That's not who I was thinking of.
Or is he still there?
No, he was on the Mexican national team. The guy's like a Mexican hero.
Hector Herrera with the big ears.
Remember when I just said Herrera and you looked at me like I was an asshole?
He was gone in the offseason. They just got rid of someone like a week or 2 ago.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying...
Oh, Hector Herrera? Yeah.
That's when Houston, to me, had a chance to win a game.
He would have
with
10
Hector Herrera.
bonus points in a week.
Yeah, he was fucking awesome.
4 bonus points just on key passes.
Well, and did he leave? I thought he retired.
He might have.
He was old. Like, I'm not saying that, like, oh, how could you let him go?
No. But he was super old.
I don't think they did a good job replacing him. I don't think McGlynn was ready to step into that role.
Or Artur are gone from the Dynamo.
Gotcha.
We need a fact checker.
Yeah, we do. Bobasay had the other goal for LAFC. Came in off the bench.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Still has that neck thing.
Yeah. What is that? Do we know what that is? We looked it up one time.
Yeah. It is. It's supposed to help prevent concussions.
Oh, that sounds like weird. Not true.
Like the magnet bracelet?
That seems like snake oil shit. Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I mean, Taylor
He
Twellman
bought
could
it
have
from a
worn one
man
of
with a
those.
long mustache who
And then
put doctor in front of his
he
name.
threw the rest
for no
on
reason.
his cart, and he got on his horse, and he just rode to the next town.
And those beanstalk beans.
Other than that, I mean, Hugo Lloris looked good. Everybody looked good. LA, they're back. We've said this, but and it's hard to say they're back when they play Houston, but they've done this the last couple weeks now. LA looks good.
If they weren't already right, there's another get-right game.
Yeah.
All the get-right games against Texas teams.
San Jose 4-1 over Timbers. I mean, I didn't know what to expect out of this game, honestly. I thought Portland could have put up more of a fight. They've been good recently. But Espinoza and Arango...
They're not as good on the road.
No, they're not. Espinoza and Arango just absolutely lighting it up. 2 goals from Espinoza, goal and an assist from Arango. Buda with a goal and an assist. DeJuan Jones with 2 assists. That was a pretty good signing, huh? They just look good. DaCosta had the assist to Felipe Mora's goal. Felipe Mora played the full game last week. Just keep in mind, I've never seen him play a full game 2 weeks in a row. So,
yeah, and they also have Rodriguez. They have a lot of guys up top.
Yeah. No, they do. Well, and honestly, even like their midfielders to me are like Diego.
Also goal scorers. Well,
Yeah.
their defense is just not good.
No.
And it's really not any different than last year. Kind of DaCosta stepped in for Evander.
Mm-hmm.
They either win or lose 4-3.
Yeah.
I mean, this was surprisingly 4-1 because San Jose does not have a good defense.
Right. Well, and I think part of it was the ball was just in Portland's half all day. I mean, they didn't have nearly as many chances as San Jose did. The Sounders 4-1 over St. Louis. Nuhu went off. Rusnak with a goal and a lot of bonus
Nuhu's
points.
was at the end, too.
Vargas
the
with
end.
a goal. Masovsky with a goal. And then Marcel Hartel, who we really haven't seen much out of recently.
No, and he's a guy that you put him in your lineup and then get disappointed. Put him
Yeah.
in your lineup and get disappointed.
But 7 points for a losing day, you know.
Well, you had a goal, right? It was 2 and the 5, and that's it.
Right.
And but that's what happens. He gets a 2 when he doesn't score. So he's...
Yeah. St. Louis, I mean, they've been on they're in the danger zone. Like, this isn't new, you know, but they really do need to figure it out.
They should be so much better with that roster.
Yeah. And then the big upset of the week to me, NYCFC 1-0 over Cincinnati, and we just talked about it.
Still a 1-goal game, just on the losing end.
The goal was from Julian Fernandez, who had some bonus points too. Big day for him. Honestly, it's just a letdown game from Cincy. I mean, no one really played particularly well. I'm willing to call this hey, it happens game as long as Cincy kind of takes this as a kick in the ass.
Well,
and
the
gets
good news
back up.
is they come home from that and get to play Austin.
Right.
So there's
The official get right team.
Yeah,
of
there's
the
your
MLS.
get right game.
I mean, it's hard to say what I mean because they've won their last 4 games. We said 1-0 against teams that they should have beat by more. I think a loss is probably good for them. To be honest, I think they're doing
Right. So here's your slap in the face, so you know you're not as good as you think you are.
Yeah, no, and I think there's a lot of hype around Cincinnati. Oh my God, Acosta left. It's a seamless transition. They look just as good. I think they do need to pick up the fucking work rate a little bit.
And it needs to start with Evander.
Yeah, no,
Mr. Disappointment himself the last 2 weeks.
And Denke as well. I think here's the thing: when Denke plays well, he plays.
One good game this season.
He had a couple good games.
2 good games this season.
But when Denke plays good, he looks so good. But he's got to be more consistent, and that is what
He's
I'm
not at
missing from the big names at Cincinnati. They don't do it every week. And for a little, it was Evander or Denke, so it was fine because one of them was going to go off, and you were going to be okay. But they can't both shit the bed, and that's what happened this game.
And there was that excuse of, look at all these injuries. Robinson, Miazga, they're all back.
Yeah.
They're all back. Full lineup. So get it together because Miami and Columbus are going to get so far past you if you keep shitting the bed like this.
Yeah. Last one, I mean, just a hilarious game. Kansas City 1-0 over the LA Galaxy. The lone goal scorer, Maya Yoshida, in his own net.
Yeah. Do you know how many? So, Sporting wins 1-0.
Yeah.
Do you know how many shots they had?
No, not
0.
I didn't know it was literally no.
I don't know how many times that's been done. They won and had no shots.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, they're a horrible team. And just that's what a dumpster fire LA
Yeah.
is that you hold that team to no shots and still find a way to lose.
Yeah. No, it's really unbelievable. Well, and I don't know how they get out of this now. I mean,
No, that was awful. And Jovic, what a disappointment. Against a team that didn't want you, they got rid of you.
Yeah. No, well, and I mean, no
At
bonus
home, wasn't
points
it?
or
Wasn't
anything.
Wasn't it in Kansas City?
It was. Let's see. Jovic, 13 passes, committed a foul. That's really all I got for him here on the stats.
That's all his
sheet.
stats.
Um,
Yeah, 2 points for playing more than 60 minutes.
yeah.
Way to go.
Not a good week.
No. Terrible.
Fantasy for last week. John, how'd you do?
I beat you.
Yeah, we played each other.
Yes. I did okay. I thought I was back on track, and I'm not. I had 78. There was a mixture. I mean, I had started with Ustari, who wasn't my favorite keeper, but because he was only 4.5 or 5 million, it was like, God, if he can get the clean sheet, think of how much money I save.
Right.
He did not. He had 3 points. I probably would have been okay with that and kept it if I didn't have money to spare.
Right.
And then I went with Lurie, who did get the clean sheet.
Yep.
Which was really nice. Defensively, that was interesting. So I had Ceballos, who from New England, who did get the clean sheet early. So everything was looking nice after that. Wagner had 2. That was terrible. And so I still needed to play one more, which was Palencia. And with Lurie, they had the clean sheet.
Yeah.
Now I had...
Which really was where you beat me.
Yeah. I had Cuevas from LA Galaxy on my bench the whole time as a scrub. And when they played, I never went and checked lineups or anything. He actually played. He didn't start, but he played. He got 1 point and then took a guy off my bench, which was Jovic with the 2, so it didn't really hurt. It only cost me a point. But in another week, if I lost Espinosa's 16 on my bench, that would have been pretty disheartening. In the midfield, I had Mihailovic, another huge disappointment. Evander, who I captained and had 1 point, so it was 2, and that was killer. I had Gazdag, who didn't play, even though he was originally in the lineup. And then I had Anthony, and I pulled the Evander thing that you did. I couldn't find him. I don't know his last name because nobody calls him by that.
Yep.
So I took him out and put in Rusnak, who had 13. So that worked out huge. That's your win right there.
Which is such bullshit because the week I didn't play Evander, he has like 14 points.
15, I think.
Even worse.
Yeah. So I also did have Espinosa on the bench, who went off. On the field up top was Messi and Bouanga, each with 10. Yep. Which was good. I had Jovic on the bench. I thought he was going to do something, but I was a little scared. Right to be scared. His team had no shots. So wound up with 78 for the week. I made $3.9 million. I've been very big on taking guys that are going to make me money because I had 4 weeks in a row where I didn't, and I'm still hurting. Like I told you, I only have 131 million. You have like 138.
Yeah.
In Charlotte, I was 54th for the week, which is not good.
No.
65th overall, which is actually higher than I've been because I've been so bad. Overall for the week was 2,312. Overall total 2,297. So starting to creep up, still doing awful. But not this week, but the following week is our first double game week.
Big.
So that's why I get back on track. We will have 2 double game weeks in a 3-week span.
Yeah.
And watch me jump up.
Yeah, well, and by the way, the double game week starts the Champions League qualifications as well. So
I will do all the homework. I will be okay.
That's a good way to start. my team, 72 points. I had Lloris. I had Lloris in the net. Wagner, I had Beeson instead of Ceballos. He had Steven instead of 8. Then I had Ali Ahmed on the field with 2. 2 DNP defenders. Then on the field.
Oh, look at that midfield.
Yeah.
That is brutal.
Evander with 1 captain, so 2. Quinn Sullivan with 2. Anthony with 2.
2-2-2.
Then on the bench, Hani Mukhtar with 7 and Espinoza with 16. So the 2 bench players were the only 2 that were fucking worth anything. Then I had Arango up top with 12, Messi with 10, and Bouanga off my bench with 10. So
you did get Espinoza's points, though, at least.
I did get Espinoza's points, and I got Bouanga.
Yeah.
But if I put Hani in for, let's say I put Hani in for Quinn.
It's 5 more points.
That's a 5-point swing.
1.
And then I captained literally anyone else but Evander.
Truly, he was the only one with only 1 point.
Yeah.
Gazdag almost had more points than him.
Now, coulda, woulda, shoulda, whatever.
Yeah.
It happens.
If my aunt had balls,
she'd be my uncle.
She would.
By the way, people don't say that down south, and I have gotten some weird looks saying that expression. That is,
but it's very simple to understand. I don't.
Well, yeah, but people just go, "What?" They don't know what to do when you say that.
I guess.
I
think it couldn't be any more straightforward. Very understanding. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, people are dumb down here. You got to talk slow.
Not down here. People are dumb. End of sentence.
Next week's games. So I'm going to run through all of them in order, and then we'll talk about games we like, don't. To be honest, I don't fucking like any of them, but we'll start from the top.
Yeah, it's not a great week.
Chicago Fire kickoff 2:30 with Atlanta coming to visit. Then 4:30, we've got Minnesota United hosting Miami. We've got Toronto hosting DC. 7:30, we've got Cincinnati playing Austin. We have NYCFC Montreal. New York Red Bulls LA Galaxy. Orlando City New England Revolution. Then we've got Philly Columbus. Then we move to the 8:30 kickoffs. We have Dallas Real Salt Lake. Houston, Seattle, Nashville, Charlotte, St. Louis, San Diego, 9:30, Colorado Rapids, San Jose, 10:30, Portland Timbers, Sporting Kansas City. Then Sunday, just one game, Vancouver, LA, that really is a marquee matchup. That is...
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's the West, to me, honestly. I don't give a fuck about any other Western team outside of those 2.
Minnesota,
but Minnesota's not LAFC or Vancouver.
No.
They're not. But, I mean, I will say this.
Seattle.
As a viewer...
Seattle at home is...
Seattle at home,
powerhouse.
yeah. Seattle on the road,
Yeah, but they're creeping up the standings, and they're going to get a lot of home games in the playoffs, probably.
That's true. No, I mean, Seattle's dangerous. Those are really the 3. I think Minnesota is a step below that.
And San Jose, because they can't defend.
Right. But I'd put San Jose as the clear 5 there. I think I don't know who would beat them for the 5th spot.
Yeah, Portland's probably the 6th.
Right. Our power rankings. Anyway.
Yes.
So, I mean, the one that really jumps out at me immediately is Cincy Austin. We just talked about it. This is a get-up game if there ever was one. Come back, whatever.
Get right.
Get right game. This is a get right game. Certainly. Galaxy Red Bull, that one to me is just the fucking loser bowl. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to think of that game at all. I could see that being 5-4. I could see it being 0-0. I could see it being 5-4, all own goals.
I think it's going to be 0.82 to 0.23. That's how bad these teams are. It's going to be a decimal.
Yeah. No, that one's rough. Orlando, New England, that one is interesting as a viewer, but it doesn't give me any immediate fantasy thoughts.
0-0.
Probably. I could see Carlos Heel doing something, though.
Yes, but it's 2 teams that don't score a lot and don't let up a lot of goals. It was just like New England-Toronto last week.
Right. The other game that really does jump out at me, Portland going back home with Kansas City coming to visit. Kansas City coming off a win.
Love Portland. And right now I have one Portland player, and I'm truly thinking about adding another Portland player.
Yeah, no, so my lineup it's pretty solid right now. I kind of know what I'm doing, but there could be another Portland player in the mix, certainly.
Well, I was debating Anthony and DaCosta, and maybe you go with both.
Yeah, no, and I always lean Anthony. He has the higher average. He's also a little more expensive now.
DaCosta's cheaper right now.
Yeah, well, and that wasn't the case at the beginning of the season.
Anthony has the higher ceiling, but the higher floor. DaCosta's more consistent. DaCosta, it'll be like 6, 3, 8, 8. And Anthony will be like 1, 10, 3, 12.
Yeah, well, and by the way, that's because Anthony is a defender. So when he catches a clean sheet, he's in the game as a midfielder. He's on the field as a defender. Their actual lineup, he plays like right wing back.
I thought he was a forward in their actual
lineup.
lineup.
No, he plays like right wing back. He's so inverted that he looks like a forward when you watch it. But when you look at their lineup, he's usually right wing back.
Interesting.
But yeah, so
I see him on the opponent's goal line a lot.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, he shouldn't be there. It's why Portland can't stop giving up goals, because their defenders don't fucking play defense.
Right. I've seen a lot of teams like that.
Going through my lineup right now. So I've got Celentano in the net. They feel like the safest clean sheet to me.
Yes.
I have Orellano as well, and Orellano's been disappointing, but looking through,
his floor has been pretty good though.
Yeah, I mean, let's just go through the last 5 games. 9, 8, 3, 6, 6. He played.
That's great.
90 minutes in the 9 and the 8. He only played 36 minutes in the 3-point game, and he had an assist and the goals allowed against him to bring him to 3. So he came in for 36 minutes and still had a stat. Kansas City, he played 86 minutes. NYCFC, he played 81 minutes. He hasn't scored yet.
Nope.
But he's starting to get assists. He's getting clean sheet points he doesn't deserve when they have a clean sheet.
And if he starts shooting inside 40 yards, maybe he'll get a goal.
Right. But to me, I think Orellano...
And I don't know if that was last week or the week before.
If you think they're going to get a clean sheet, why not take Orellano? Because he might score a goal.
Because he's $4.6 million more than Miazga.
That's true. If you have it.
Yeah, I like Orellano. If you have the money, then yes, I agree. But as a player, I don't like him. I truly don't.
No, I don't either. But
on the field, he's terrible.
No,
but stat line fantasy, yes.
I've got Freeman right now. I like Freeman. I don't know that he's going to stay there because Carlos Hill does scare me, I'll be honest. But, I mean, just go. He's projected 6.8 points.
Do you know he started this season at $4 million?
Did he really?
They have 5 clean sheets in a row.
Yeah. No, and I mean, he's got a goal.
Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row.
He catches some bonus points pretty regularly. I mean, he's a good player. He's a good fantasy look, certainly. And I think they can hold New England to a clean sheet. They've done it to better offenses recently. There is a part of me that's scared because at some point they're going to give up a goal.
6 clean sheets in a row?
It's a lot. I got Tristan Blackman right now. He's just, when I don't know what to do, I go to him. To be honest, LAFC is a team that scares me, especially right now. If any of these people change, Blackman's the first one to go, just because he's going to save me money. $10.2 million. I mean, certainly not cheap for a player you're not that confident.
You know, Ali Ahmed is $200,000 cheaper.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
That might be.
And he's a forward.
All right.
Getting defensive.
Well, correction, everyone. Ali Ahmed.
You already passed him.
There he is.
He's only $200,000 cheaper. It's not a ton.
Yeah. Ali Ahmed in then.
I'm going to tell you why I love him this week.
My midfield. So I've got Anthony right now, Espinoza and Rusnak there on the field. Then I have Mihailovic and Evander on the bench. I just don't see how Evander can have another letdown game, especially against Austin. But he scares me, so he's on my bench right now.
I get it.
Up top, Choupo-Moting. I don't love the Red Bulls. We have talked about it.
But he's one of the few players I would play.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing the LA Galaxy. Whenever they score, it's him pretty much always. Yep. I mean, he is the
And they're
striker.
home. They score some at home.
Yeah.
On the road, they literally don't score.
Now, LA, I don't think they get held to 0 in this game. I've heard people say they're looking at Red Bull defenders. I just think after last week, Red Bull is... not Red Bull. I think the Galaxy are going to be like, we can lose this game, but we got to score a fucking
goal.
The
Galaxy on the road have 2/3 goals per game.
Yeah, I mean, they're not a good offense. I'm not saying they should go out there and score 3 goals. I'm saying if there was ever a game that they are going to be, we got to score.
The Red Bulls aren't terrible either defensively at home. They allow a goal per game at home. So not terrible.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see LA scoring. But who? They
Yeah,
had so many great attacking players that are all doing nothing this season.
Yeah, I don't think it's Marco Royce. I don't think it's
God,
Christian Ramirez. Like, I don't know where it comes from.
It
could be Christian Ramirez,
could be.
but I don't.
It could be Painsil. It could be Peck.
I wouldn't put money on any of them to score.
No, I'd put more money on Pooch to score this week than any of those guys.
Arango I've got right now. He is also expensive, but Yosef is out, and I think with Yosef out, it has to be Arango.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait till he comes back, though.
Yeah.
Because he's very inexpensive for his output.
And then I've got Brian White on the bench right now.
He's hurt.
Well,
he's out this game.
It won't be Brian White then. That'll get switched. Honestly, I have to look at that then.
Yeah.
Because I can't on the fly. It took me so long to get to these 3 strikers, to be honest with you. So, that will be someone other than Brian White. But it'll be on the Instagram, whoever it is. Captain right now, I do not have one. It's probably if you're putting a gun to my head.
This is hard.
Yeah,
Captain this week is hard.
Let's see. I think it's Rusnak.
I don't even like Rusnak this week because he's on the road. They're so different on the road,
Yeah, but
dude.
it's Houston.
Still.
I don't know. I also thought, do I just double down and put Rusnak on my bench and make Evander my captain and just really bank on he's coming back? I thought about Espinoza. He had 16 points last week. I don't think he's going to do that again. He's projected 8.8 against Colorado.
In their last 4 home games, Houston's allowed 1 goal per game. So they're not terrible.
Right.
And Seattle on the road is the third. Well, they're tied with a bunch of teams, but they score a half a goal per game on the road.
Eek. Yeah, that's not great.
They're tied for the 3rd worst in the league with Montreal and Atlanta.
I don't love that.
The only teams worse than them on the road are Houston and Red Bull, who have 0.4 goals.
That's
so
awful.
2 goals in every 5 games.
Right.
Which is exactly what they have, 2 goals in 5 games.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I do think Espinoza is probably who will end up being my captain.
He's currently mine. I don't love it, and I don't know who else to make captain.
It feels the safest right now. And I honestly, after having captain shit the bed the last few weeks, that's such an important piece.
Oh,
you're better off
me.
playing it
2 weeks in a row is Evander.
Yeah.
So how many times do you want to die on that sword?
You're kind of better off playing it safe with the captain, I think. If you don't have anyone you absolutely love, you pick the guy with the low floor, and that's Espinoza to me. Though, who knows who the Brian Wright replacement will be. Maybe that's my captain.
Yeah, so I looked at, I think it's Sapi.
Mm-hmm.
He's been doing, look at his fantasy score. He's like 2-2-1 in the last 3 weeks.
Right.
Like, there is no one. That's the problem. It's a midfielder. It's Vitae, maybe Berhalter. Tristan Blackman had a goal.
Yeah.
It's Ali Ahmed. He's the other forward, even though he's a defender in the game, which is why I love him. No Brian White.
Yeah, no, it has to be Ali Ahmed.
But in the last 5 weeks, Espinoza's lowest score was a 5, and that was at Columbus.
Actually, do you know what? After moving some things around, I found my second striker. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Hugo Kuipers.
Oh, I have him. He's one of my strikers.
Boom. I have money for him now because I moved things around up at the back.
Gotcha. Okay, so for me, I have Celentano in goal. Right, he's on the bench with a scrub up top. Hopefully he gets the clean sheet, and I don't have to put someone in on the field.
Right.
My defenders, so I have Tavon Gray on the bench because they play at 7. I debated between him and Valencia. I like NYC. I like New York Red Bulls.
Yep.
Tavon Gray is cheaper, and I feel like I like NYC a little bit better to get a clean sheet. So,
I get that.
And he's only $6.2 million. So if he can get a clean sheet at that price, that is saving me a lot of money. So I have 2 scrubs on the field. It's a 4-4-2, but 2 defensive scrubs. One will scrub in. I guess that doesn't – it's not a doctor.
Right.
You scrub out in sports. You don't scrub in.
Yeah.
But I'll have to have someone come in if Gray doesn't get that clean sheet. On the field is Miazga, just because of funds. I would rather have had Orejano. But Miazga is only $5.4 million. And
Right.
if Cincinnati gets that clean sheet at that price, that's a beautiful thing. And then I have Ahmed. And here's why I love Ahmed. Now already you have a defender playing out of position, so that's great. It is a team that gets a lot of clean sheets, also great.
Yeah.
But with Brian White not playing, okay, at home, well, Ixnay, the Brian White not playing yet. Okay. Vancouver at home has 2.33 goals per game scored.
Pretty good.
Very much on the high side. LAFC on the road have allowed 2.4 goals per game.
I would argue this is a slightly different LAFC.
Yes, dark green. But
Yeah.
they're playing Vancouver, who are super consistent.
Yes.
Now, I want an attacking player on that team. And Brian White isn't playing. So I have a defender who could potentially get a clean sheet, which I don't think they'll get. And
I don't think so either.
He's a forward. He's not a backup forward like Seppi or Sapi or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
How do you not love that guy?
Yeah. No,
I mean, that guy
agree.
could be my captain. He won't be.
It would be the first time you've ever captained a defender.
Yeah.
But he's
won't
not
be.
a defender. I mean, that's
Correct.
the thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, we may have captained Orejano last season at some point. That's not impossible. I
I'll
don't
tell you-
specifically remember doing it, but
who was before Orejano?
Julian Gressel.
No,
Oh.
on Cincinnati.
Oh.
Barreal.
Yes,
Barreal, I bet we captained.
probably.
So then in the midfield was tough. There's a lot of players I like and no one I love. Colorado, I like this week. At home, they score 1.8 goals per game, but San Jose allows 2.25 goals per game.
Right.
So I like Mihailovic. I also like Espinoza on the other side of that.
Yeah.
Colorado, not a defensive powerhouse. San
Now
Jose
that'll be a
scores ton.
shootout.
I currently have DaCosta, which I had said earlier. I love Portland against Sporting. I love it. Sporting's terrible.
Yeah.
So I will pick guys against them all the time. And I currently have Evander. Again, a little scared, but coming home against Austin. I mean, how do you not have a great game?
Yeah. No, I agree.
If you didn't look at what he's done the last few weeks and you just looked at matchups, he's your captain.
Yeah. No, for sure. Well, and honestly, when he has 15 points, I'm going to feel really stupid that I didn't captain him.
Yeah.
But
So I have Mukhtar on the bench. I haven't taken Mukhtar all season. I don't
had him
like
last
Nashville.
week. Didn't use him, but I had him.
Yeah. I don't like Nashville. I don't like Mukhtar. They've had a few good weeks. They've played dog shit. So I think it's a little bit of a false number. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So he's on my bench, but he's playing home against Charlotte without either of their starting wingbacks. And when
Yeah.
Tim Ream is on the field, they do not defend. He's
No.
terrible. He's terrible.
No, it's shocking, honestly.
Honestly, it really is. Because when he signed with them, you're like, oh, wow, Tim Ream, how about that? And he is so bad.
Yeah.
He's so bad. He doesn't move.
Yeah, no, he's really unathletic. In
He's
a
awful.
team where wingbacks have to get up. I mean, that is
And he
part of the
doesn't. He's not a
design.
wing back.
No.
He's a back.
Yeah, well, and by the way, he was supposed to be a center back. He just can't do it.
So how do you not take Mukhtar in that game?
Yeah.
And I don't want to take him. I feel like he's had a few really high-scoring weeks that were lucky. Like, I really
Right.
feel like that. So, but that matchup is just, you drool over it, honestly.
Yeah.
Up top, I got Arango, same reason as Espinoza, and I got Kuipers. First game of the day, home against Atlanta. I mean, when they score, Kuiper scores. I mean, you thought it was Gutierrez at one point. They have that other something Gal, like Schlingengal or
I know
something.
what you're talking about.
Yeah. But they're inconsistent.
Yeah.
He's the only consistent one. They score, he's on the score sheet.
Yep.
So I like Kuipers.
No, well, and it's also if every Kuiper's goal has an assist. Like when the team does well, Kuiper's does well because what
He's got
Kuiper's
the goal of the assist. He's got the goal contribution when
Kuiper's
they score.
function is stand in the box and get service and have one-touch finishes. I heard a crazy stat. It's literally like 80% of Hugo Kuiper's goals are one-touches.
Really?
I believe it's something crazy like that. I might be wrong on that number, but it's close. Most of his goals are off one-touches. So everyone is playing well, Kuipers takes advantage of that because he is the one cleaning up. He's the one on the end of crosses, like when Chicago does well.
And he's a big boy.
Yeah, that too.
On the bench, I have Suarez.
Yes.
So I can't afford Messi, and he's really expensive for what his output has been.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think they're going to continue to score. Suarez hasn't really done much lately. He had this goal this last week, and he's not as bad as he's playing. Now, he's getting older. He can't move like he did. So I think he's definitely on that downturn. But he could have a big week. I have him on my bench. We'll see what happens. He's a 4:30 game, so I could scrub other people out. Maybe Evander.
Right.
I don't know. So that's my team.
Bets this week. To be honest, there's not a ton that I love. But
what is the over for Colorado San Jose?
I did look at that. It is 3.5. And hold on, I'll give you the money line on it. It is plus 105 for the over 3.5.
I like it.
I don't hate it.
I like it.
To be honest, I wouldn't make it any less than that because if you go over 2.5, you're definitely not making any money on that. As far as teams go, Portland. minus 140.
Love it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. Vancouver plus 100, even money. LAFC plus 240. I mean, if you're an LAFC fan, I might bet that. I wouldn't personally.
Right.
But if you like LAFC, they're getting
been
good
really
money.
good. I mean, they are back in form. Bouanga's back. I don't know if it was last week we talked about his injury.
I believe it was, actually.
And super important.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Bouanga, despite the fact that no one in the media covered it for some reason.
At all.
Bouanga's been dealing with a hamstring injury. No one knew that other than the people inside of LAFC. But he says he's back at 100% now, and it's been night and day. So if you've been like, where the hell is Bouanga all season? Oh, he's back. That's why he's back. And it has been a crazy difference in LAFC.
Yes.
As a team, not just him. Like, everyone looks better when
100%.
Bouanga plays full. And it makes sense because we couldn't figure out why Bouanga
and here's some of the things I said this week that no one heard, except you. It was his quad. They talked about it on the wrap-up on Apple, okay? They said he feels 100% now, and the fact that he's also out of the CCC, not playing as much, is kind of nice.
Right.
He has 4 goals in the last 3 games.
Wow.
That doesn't include this past week, right?
Yeah.
Because this is my notes from the week before. He had 0 goals
Still
in his
4-4.
0 goals in his first 6 games.
Yeah.
4-4 if he didn't score last week. I don't know off the top of my head if he did.
I believe he did not.
Okay. Same time comparison. He's more than doubled his shots, 3.4 to 7.3 shots per 90.
Mm-hmm.
And he's more than tripled his XG. His XG in his first 6 games was 1.4. His XG in the next 3 games was 4.5.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to. And it's funny because when players are like, oh, I was nursing an injury, sometimes you would be like, that's bullshit. You suck.
Yeah. When Bernadeschi says that,
right.
I don't believe it.
It's so night and day. That
no, you see it. He looks different on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, minus 130. I love that. I don't see how you can
Absolutely.
not bet that
They're not going to lose 2 in a row. And I coming home after that terrible loss, they're not going to draw either. They're going to win that game. I love that one.
The Red Bulls are minus, for the first time this season, minus 125. The Galaxy are plus 300. We have.
I think it's going to be a draw.
Draws plus 270.
I like that, actually.
Actually,
you could throw 100 on LA and the draw, and if either hit, you're up.
That's true. NYC minus 135. I mean, if you like NYC, I don't hate that number. Honestly, I would stay away from this game personally.
That could be a 0-0 draw, too.
Yeah, which is plus 270 on the draw. DC plus 180 going to Toronto. Toronto plus 135 at home. I kind of like DC at plus 180. I don't like them for less than that, but I don't hate it at plus 180.
You put a little something.
Yeah, I don't think it's
for
crazy.
Fun.
Miami's plus 195. I do like that, honestly. I don't think Minnesota's as good as they
So
seem.
I like it at plus 195.
Right.
Minnesota's good, and they're good at home. But Miami really seems like they're back after that.
Yeah.
That was a get-right game. I think they feel good, and I think they're going to roll. And at plus 195?
Yeah.
That's bananas.
I mean, they're coming off a horrible run. That's why that line is what it is right now. But
I get that. And now all that shit's behind them.
Yeah.
And now they're moving forward.
One other big one, and I did save this for last on purpose. Real Salt Lake plus 230 going to Dallas. I don't even understand that.
Who
line.
made that line?
No, I don't. People at BetMGM don't watch soccer. Clearly, that's what's happening. They're just not looking at the right numbers. I don't know what they're doing.
I'm so confused.
Real Salt Lake playing Dallas is. I mean, you couldn't have more of a layup game.
Is Musa back?
Either way, dude, plus 230 is
Honestly,
crazy.
even if Musa's back, what's
I don't
he gonna
care.
play?
Yeah.
50 minutes?
But plus 230, I mean, to me, that is a layup bet. I really haven't been betting a lot this season, even though I've been recommending that you all put your money on it. I haven't really been putting my money on any of these opinions. This one, I'm betting. And
honestly, I feel like there's quite a few that I really like this week. I don't like players, but I like... Well, I said that earlier. I do much better in picking the game, the team, the outcome, than I have the fantasy, which is opposite of how it used to be for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold on. Let me look at this injury report real quick and see if Moose is on it.
We're checking.
Yeah, FC Dallas. He's questionable. Interesting.
That is a change.
But I still...
Yeah.
I'd like to see the lineup. If he's not in that lineup, then I love it.
Yeah, well, and to be honest with you, I don't know how many people are going to bet either way on this. That line could move. I mean, most people with soccer are betting Friday night, Saturday morning.
Do you keep track of that if the lines move a lot?
They have moved. They're never super drastic.
Right.
But I've noticed it where I bet and then I checked the lines on another computer, but I already had the bet locked in at an original line, and I see it's skewed more in my favor, or sometimes it skews against me. Every once in a while, though, because you can cash out a bet in the app. So if you bet early and then you see the odds went up for you, you can cash that bet out, close the app out, and then rebet it at the better number.
Nice.
So keep that in mind. If it ever does move on you, that's a pro tip.
He's a sharp.
John, is there anything else you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Good luck, and always check your lineups.
Check your lineups, guys. We'll see you next week.